This is on dividing polynomials. Remember when you were a kid and you did long division in 4th grade? Well, welcome to long division with polynomials. This is going to be fun. So now, let's take a look at the first one. Well, the first one is dividing a monomial by a monomial. You're going to love these because these are the easiest. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 10 and divide it by 2 and get 5. And x to the 5th divided by x to the 3rd, we're going to subtract the exponents and get x squared. Think of it this way. Well, x to the 5th is really this. X to the 3rd is really this. I wamba those three out. X squared. Now let's do this next one. Yeah, let's. So negative 21 divided by 7 is a negative 3. N to the 3rd, because 6 take away 3 is 3. Now it's p to the 0. 2 take away 2 is 0. And q to the 7th divided by q to the 3rd is q to the 4th. Now p to the 0 is really the number 1, so we don't even need to write him. The other way to look at it is that the p squareds just cancel out, so I don't even have to write that initially. Okay? Next. All right, so if we're going to divide a polynomial by a monomial, we're just going to break it up. Break it up. So let's do it. So it's going to be x to the 5th over x to the 3rd plus 2x to the 4th over x to the 3rd. Please write this step out so you don't forget to divide everything by x to the 3rd. So we're going to get x squared, subtract your exponents, plus 2x to the 1st, but we don't need that first there because math people are lazy. It's assumed that x is raised to the 1st power there and you're done. Let's do the next one. So 2y to the 11th over negative 2y to the 5th minus 8y to the 9th, negative 2y to the 5th plus 6y to the 3rd over negative 2y to the 5th. I love this one. Let's do it. 2 divided by negative 2 is negative 1. 11 take away 5 is going to be y to the 6th. Negative 8 divided by negative 2 is a positive 4. Y to the 9 take away 5 is 4. So we're doing great so far. Everything looks hunky-dory until, dun dun dun, the 3 is bigger than the 5. So we can write it as a negative exponent, but I don't want to. So I'm going to have you guys think of this last piece like this. Ready? 6 y, negative 2 y. So 3 of the y's will go, and I'm left with 2 y's on the bottom. 6 divided by negative 2 is negative 3, and I'm left with y squared on the bottom. Now just bring that negative out to be like a subtraction, which is not exactly the same thing, but we can write subtraction as adding the opposite. So we can just say subtract instead of adding a negative 3. Next. Let's look at the terminology of a long division problem. 3 outside is called the divisor, 15 is called the dividend, and 5 is called the quotient. The quotient is actually the answer. Good? So here is the long division. We can do this? Yes, we can. So the divisor is x minus 5, the bottom. I'm dividing by x minus 5. The dividend is the top. X squared take away 2x plus 6. Now here is the deal. We're always going to work off this first guy. And you say to yourself, what times x gives me x squared? And you're going, well, x does. X times x is x squared. We must do the distribution through. X has to get multiplied by this x, and x has to get multiplied by the negative 5. So I get negative 5x. Now, when you were doing long division in 4th grade, then you subtracted. So I have to subtract off this guy, and subtracting off a negative gives me a positive. So it's equivalent to, I'm using my little hands as quotes, changing the signs. These x squareds will add out. I combine like terms, I get 3x, and then I bring down the positive 6. Now then I say to myself, self, I'm working off this first guy. I work off the first guy and this 3x, and I say to myself, x times what gives me 3x? Well, you say a positive 3. So I'm going to distribute that 3 through. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times negative 5 is a negative 15. Subtract or change the signs. Subtracting, changing the signs. This guy will wamba, and I'm left with 21. That's my remainder. We are going to write remainders as fractions. How do we do that? So my remainder is 21 over the divisor of x take away 5. So what's my answer? Let's write the answer to this. The answer is x plus 3 plus 21 over the divisor of x minus 5. So I have a remainder that I write as a fraction. It's kind of like converting an improper fraction to a mixed number on a little different level. Next. Let's do 2 more. Yeah, let's. Okay, so this B is kind of like a big fat mambo problem. If we can get through B and C, you've got it made. Here we go. The divisor is 2x plus 3. The dividend is 4x cubed plus 12x squared plus x minus 14. So now we work off the 2x. See, the 3 just gets tagged along in the end. So he gets accounted for. Now let's go for it. We'll say to ourselves, how many times does 2x go into 4x to the third? Well, it's 2x squared. 2 times 2 is 4. X times x squared is x to the third. Then the 3 gets tagged along. I've got to multiply it by both, plus 6x squared. Now what do? We change the signs or change it to adding the opposite, opposite, opposite. The 4x cubes will add out. And then we get 6x squared, bring down the x. Then we start again. 2x goes into 6x squared, a positive 3x times. 3x times 2x is 6x squared. Again, I must multiply the 3x times the 3, and we get 9x. Change the signs. Negative 8x, bring down, negative 14. 2x goes into negative 8x, a negative 4 times. Negative 4 times 2x is a negative 8x. Negative 4 times a positive 3 is negative 12. Change your signs or add the opposite. There they go. Negative 2 is the remainder. So how do we write the answer? The answer is 2x squared plus 3x minus 4 minus 2 over the divisor of 2x plus 3. Your answer is called the quotient. Now let's do letter C. Here we go. So the divisor, I'm just going to section this off. So the divisor is x plus 5. The dividend is x cubed. Now I'm going to write this as descending degree orders, not skipping a term. 0x squared, 0x plus 125. Perfect. Now I say to myself, x goes into x cubed, x squared times. So we have x squared times x is x cubed. X squared times 5 is 5x squared. Almost made a slip up there. Now notice how cute it is. Now it has a place to go so we don't get confused. So we're going to change our signs. Add x cubes, add out, so we get a negative 5x squared. Bring down the 0x. Perfect. See, we go down easy. X goes into negative 5x squared, negative 5x times. So it's negative 5x squared minus 25x. Where am I getting that negative 25x? Answer, I'm multiplying the 5x by both of these terms. Change your signs. That 5x squared will add out, so I get 25x plus 125. So now work off that x, you guys. X times what gives me 25x plus 25. 25 times x is 25x. 5 times 25 is 125. Change your signs. Everything adds out. I get a remainder of 0. So what's my final answer? X squared minus 5x plus 25. My answer is called the quotient. Now you guys are able to do the lesson associated with this little mini lecture. Go for it.